is a beautiful world.
Owls are pretty incredible. They transfix us, they get into our imagination, but yet they come out and are active at times that scare us or in places that scare us, at twilight or dusk, in graveyards or dark forests.
That's Paul Bannick. He's a conservation photographer, a naturalist, and works full-time for Conservation Northwest, which helps protect wildlands and vulnerable species in Washington and British Columbia. And of all the species that Bannick works with, he has a special and unique love for owls.
We give them traits and features that are otherworldly or supernatural. And while that's beautiful and poetic, I think there's also a danger to that, because although their beauty has the power to inspire us, it's really important we demystify them and look at what they really mean.
Bannick's book, A Year in the Lives of North American Owls, watches owls as they move through each season and a series of life stages, from courtship and nesting to hunting and raising young, and then watching those young gain their independence. All of these detailed and stunning pictures took phenomenal patience and persistence to get. One shot in particular of a baby great gray owl leaving the nest took 10 years and multiple failed attempts to capture.
They would fall out of the nest. They would get knocked out of the nest by a sibling's errant wing as the sibling was flapping. They would leave the nest the moment I went to recharge my batteries or use the restroom. They would leave the nest in the middle of the night. So it was incredibly frustrating.
Finally, on his last day shooting, Bannick got his image in Alaska.
50 feet up in a mistletoe mat. The youngster, the fluffy ball of feathers, waddled over to the edge of the nest, shook himself off, squatted down, and then fully extended his legs, leaping off that nest 50 feet up, unable to fly, awkwardly flapping his wings with these big, long legs hanging forward, and fell with a bounce to the ground below. And I could not believe it.
Before he could enjoy the moment, however, another baby owl came up to the side of the nest and did the exact same thing, followed by a third.
And I was able to watch 3 owls leave the nest after having waited 10 years to watch one leave.
These rare moments are worth the wait for Bannick, because he wants people to love owls as much as he does, to help ensure that they're here in the future.
Although owls feel very wild, there are owls that do better alongside people. The eastern screech owl, for instance, that lives in more than half of North America, actually does better in conjunction and alongside people, does better in suburbs than it does in the wildest lands.
Bannick says the most important thing people can do for owls is, number 1, to protect public lands. Number 2, retain standing dead trees, because that's where owls nest. And number 3, create owl habitats wherever you are, whether that's on your own land, in your backyard, on your roof, or in the nearest public park.
People can put up nest boxes, and they will readily take to those nest boxes, and you can watch their courtship and watch them bird food to their young. And you might find pleasure in the fact that one of the reasons they live so well alongside people is they like to eat the rodents that are attracted to human dwellings. Personally, I think a beautiful world is a world where we understand that we are part of this natural web. We're not apart from it. We're part of it. And that doesn't mean we have to live in teepees and only eat what we grow, and doesn't mean anything like that. But it means that we are basically entirely responsible for the natural world around us. And I think in a beautiful world, we recognize that and we celebrate that. And we ensure that it will continue after us.
That was conservation photographer and naturalist Paul Bannick talking about his book, A Year in the Lives of North American Owls. You can find out more about him and his work online at abeautiful.world. There you can hear more stories from ABW and learn how to build your very own owl box. I'm Heather McElhatton, and this is A Beautiful World.
Brought to you with help from the Pohlad Family Foundation.